we gave them was egregious. A couple of, they're egregious. I mean, you look at the goals, they're just, we're all in, pushing the chips, and so we got to correct it. We got a day off tomorrow. Some guys need it. We got to recharge, and we just got to get our mind right.
You talked about turnovers the other night. Is same story again in terms of some of those mistakes that end up in the back of your net?
Well, I don't think we turned as much as last game, but the plays, like I said, were coverage plays, pinching at the wrong time, PK, anticipating we should just stay in front of the net and knock the puck down. It's like they're egregious. It's not many. I don't know if they had like a 10 or chance. They didn't have many chances, but they're egregious chances.
The Kings seem to really slow down the pace of play quite a bit. How do you break out of that so that you're playing at your pace, the way you want to play?
Well, you got to win some battles. The first period, they were coming out of the puck. We'd have two, they'd have two, and they come out with a puck. We were late on chip-ins or even on rush plays. We weren't really fast to those areas. And that's, to me, it's just a will to get there quicker than them. And they, especially early, they kind of bottled things up and played their style. And sometimes you have to do that. They're not going to let you do some things, then you're going to have to do a couple little things differently. Refused early, the D didn't shoot the puck when they should have right away. We were D to D and then reset it. It was a combination of a lot of things. Forwards didn't come up with loose pucks. And like I said, I don't think we gave them much. It's just a matter of fact, what we gave them was egregious.
Your split up power play units have come up with a couple of goals, but is that something you see continuing for much longer, or will you reunite kind of your best players on one?
Well, eventually we're going to have to do it, but, I know what did we have, 2 power plays tonight? We scored 1. It was a pretty good, damn good goal, so I'm not sure that's the problem. Right now, I just think that, there's 6 or 7 guys who are just, their game's not there. For every reason, some guys got heavy legs, and we're going to have to, hopefully this day off will recharge some guys.
At 5-on-5 with such little space playing the Kings, is it a case of you need to do more with less? You need to find, move quicker in the space that you have?
Well, move quicker, but also body position. Sometimes our body position, I hate to say mind-boggling, but for some reason we're backs against the wall. You got to be in front of, like, it's body position, then the puck. It's not the puck first, and we're losing those battles. Now maybe it's getting harder, and guys got to realize, that's the game that's going to be out there, coming, from here all the way to wherever, April. So you got to be able to not learn just the technical part of it, but also the will to get those pucks. I mean, that game is about winning puck battles, and they won more than us.
Kopitar scores a goal. He sets up the third goal.
Yeah.
Big time player from a guy that's going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of clips you want to turn around and show your guys and say, like, this is what a big game player is?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, our guys have been playing hard all year. I mean, some guys are struggling, some of the big guys, and you're going to go through stretches, and they're going to have to figure it out. But figuring it out is not all in. You can't play an all in style. I'm going to pinch when I want. I'm going to throw a puck out in the slot when there's coverage there. I'm not going to, I'm going to change bad when I want. I mean, those are the things that when I first got here were, when the goal there, the change was bad, and then obviously our coverage sucked, even though we had people there. Those things just can't happen. They can happen once in a while, I get it, but they've just been happening too frequently right now.
Hey, Coach. Elias Pettersson finished January with, I think, 14 goals, and now he finishes February with just 2 goals. What do you think the difference has been, and what do you think of his play tonight?
I thought he tried tonight. I think he's going to have to change a few things. Hold on some pucks there. I'm sure he wanted that one back. He threw it away. That's the stuff that usually he doesn't do. He holds on to it, makes the right play. He's struggling, in certain parts of his game, but, he'll come out of it. I think that he's too good of a player not to come out of it.
You've talked a lot about your staples, and when you look at how this has happened, this game, late in the Pittsburgh game and at various other times in the last couple of weeks, those staples seem to be missing.
Yeah.
When you'd think after 50 games or 55 at that point that would at least be set. How do you balance that between giving these guys a break, pushing them harder, and pushing those emotional buttons?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, you always fall back on your foundation and staples when things are struggling. For me, it's us coaches got to do a better job. It's the leadership group has to make sure that they stick together and do a good job, and it's individuals as themselves look at themselves, say, hey, what can I do better? So it's a collective thing. It's an organizational thing for us right now. We are lacking some staples. We're not chipping the body enough. I don't think our changes have been great. We're missing that a lot too. I mean, high shots over the glass. It's. I mean, that's the one thing we got to correct. We're shooting so high. I think if we just correct about 2 or 3 things, get some guys, getting their confidence back, having a day off here, a good practice, and going on the trip might help us. But you get punched in the mouth. You gotta stand up and take it. You can't be hanging your heads. I hate when guys hang their heads. You gotta have your chest up, ready to go. And we're a bit of a funk right now. Sometimes you might have to win a game 2-0 or 2-1. I don't know if we have that mentality right now. I think some guys haven't scored in a while. We're pressing, and then when you press, you lose your coverage, you lose your man because you're pressing for goals or assists. And stats look. I hate stats. Stats come when the team plays well. If you chase stats, then that's what happens.
But just as a former player and as a coach as well, what do you think a road trip at this point can do to kind of break out of this funk that you mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, we've been on the road a lot this month, so whether it's a road trip or whatever, we just got to get a good day off, good practice, and figure out a couple of things, get some people, get their confidence back, and get on a roll. That's really what it comes down to.
What do you think for a situation for Archie Baines? He's getting the call up and in this situation to kind of experience what a funk is like for a team. What does that do for a guy who is just getting his feet wet in the NHL?
Well, he's got to make sure he's insulated. The leadership group, the players. A young guy like that, you got to make sure that you're around him. Coaches talk to him. Hey, this is part of it. And unfortunately, he's been part of the more of the losing. But it's good. It's good as long as he's insulated. I don't want him by himself. 100%. No way. He's too good of a kid and player. They're egregious. 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 Egregious.
All Russian, so always go to karaoke. I miss.
Showed a lot of balls for our group today.
Seems like I think you don't have to spend all these.
Generational talent. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.